Alright, so today I want to go through some of my ball pythons and give them names. I've been slowly working through my collection trying to name every single snake. It's been quite a few years and some of these snakes still don't have names. As a matter of fact, some of the names that I'm using today are going to be the ones that have been suggested in the comments section under my videos. I've been asking for names for my hatchlings as I put them up in my rack, so I have a whole bunch of brand new names that I'm going to use for a lot of these snakes, and we'll just start pulling snakes one by one, and it'll give me a chance to kind of show off some of my ball pythons, and we'll give them names at the same time. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one. Take a look at this girl. This is a pastel scaleless head female. Pretty awesome. I actually hatched this out. I bred, as a matter of fact, I bought a scaleless head male and I bred it to a whole bunch of stuff and got a whole bunch of scaleless head females, and I'm still waiting on them to grow up to actually breed them together with my other scaleless heads, because if you breed two scaleless heads together, you end up with completely scaleless ball pythons, which is still, I'm thinking maybe another year or two away, depending on how fast these guys will actually grow. This one, she kind of came up against the 1,000-gram wall and kind of got stuck. And kind of the cool thing about scaleless heads is sometimes they'll have kind of crazy belly patterns. This one's not too crazy. And a lot of times they'll have kind of a thinned out scale. And a lot of times you can get some interesting effects from just the scaleless head, which is pretty awesome. So I'm actually going to pick a name. I have a whole bunch of names in this jar here. Take a look at all the names that I got from people suggesting names in the comments section. So let's pick a name for this girl and we'll see what her new name is. This girl's name is Tango. Alright, so take a look at this girl. This is probably one of the snakes that has bitten me the most. This girl, she is on fire every single time I pull her out of the tub. For some reason, she just does not like me. And this is actually a bumblebee, which is a pastel and a spider. And then she's also possible het pied and possible yellow belly. As a matter of fact, this year she laid a clutch of eggs. I bred her a little bit too small, and I didn't think she was going to lay. And then one day I looked in the tub and there was a whole clutch of mostly slugs with one kind of a boob egg, and it looks like that boob egg might actually hatch, which is kind of crazy. And wouldn't it be something if I could actually get a pied, or like a yellow belly pied or something out of this girl? You never know what you're gonna get. As a matter of fact, if she is het pied, I might get the spider pied, which would reduce all the color and pattern just to the top of the head. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull, she's eyeing me. I know she wants to take a bite. She's like a crazy snake. I've never seen a ball python like that. So I'm gonna pull a name out of the bucket here. Oh, this is a perfect name for her. Take a look at this name. This is Chomper. A perfect name for this girl. Alright, so here is my fire-pied male. I can't believe I've been showing this guy off for years and years, and I still haven't given him a name. We definitely need to give these snakes names so we can talk about them by their first name. I don't give them last names, just one name. And kind of the cool thing about the fire working it into the pied, you get these kind of a lighter dark spot here. Usually these are pretty dark in a regular pied, and then they turn really light when you work fire into it. As a matter of fact, when you produce hatchlings that have the fire and the pied in them, these are like super bright orange. It was really super amazing when he was a hatchling, and it really definitely faded out as he aged and matured. Still has a really interesting effect with the fire working it into the pied. So I'm gonna pick a name out of the bucket here for this guy, and we'll see what we can name him. See if he can stay on the table while we're picking a name. These snakes are like crawling all over the place. They are crazy. All right, here is his new name. This guy's new name is, if you can read it here, his new name is Zeus. Alright, so take a look at this girl. This is my pinstripe pied female. Still doesn't have a name. This is a really awesome combination. So this is the combination of the pinstripe, which really, you can see the gold pinstripe color. And when it was younger, this was like a super bright gold. And it's kind of browned out quite a bit as it aged and matured. And usually with the pinstripe pieds, a lot of times it'll wipe out a lot of the pattern. And it'll give you really dark borders between the color and the white. It makes for for a really amazing combination. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick a name for this girl and see if we can get a good name for her, if we can keep her on the table. So her new name is Jellybean. Alright, so here is my female clown. This is just a straight clown. Clown is recessive, so you need 2 copies of the gene for a visual. As a matter of fact, I bred this to my albino pied last year. Got some eggs that were triple hets, albino pied clown hatchlings. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about those. Those are doing pretty good too. And then this girl, this year I actually bred it to my banana Enchi clown. I don't think she's gonna go. She's definitely not looking like she's gonna lay eggs this year. Whoa, she's kind of freaking out a little bit. I think she is a little freaked out about the lights in here, kind of being from a dark tub to the lights out here. So I'm going to pick a name out of the jar and we'll give this girl a name. So her new name is, if you can read that, Bambi. All right. Alright, so take a look at this. This is my pastel pinstripe scaleless head female. I actually have one exactly like this that we did name, kind of the mirror image. I kept 2 of these back as holdbacks, thinking that, you know, if one of them doesn't breed, I can actually breed the other one. You know, with my luck with ball pythons, it's like, you know, I hold one back and it's a really stubborn eater and it's really hard to get to eat sometimes. Sometimes they kind of get stuck and won't breed for you. And kind of my thought on this girl was to actually hold back 2 of them. That way, if one kind of gets stuck, I can use the other one as a backup, which is kind of a good plan for a lot of these snakes. So I'm actually going to pull a name out of the jar for this girl, and of course she's crawling all over the place. Her new name is Anastasia. Alright, so here is another one we haven't named. This is a female scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. And the crazy thing about this is this has been like my pickiest feeder in all my ball pythons. She just refuses to eat. She won't eat anything live or frozen thawed. She just ran up against that wall, like the 1,000-gram wall, and she just refuses to eat. And sometimes it can be extremely frustrating with some of these ball pythons. This is probably one of my most frustrating girls in my entire collection. Sometimes they can get stuck, and let me tell you, they can catch up really quick once they go back on food. So I'm going to pull a name for this girl if we can keep her here on the camera. She's kind of going crazy. This is a perfect name for her. She's like squiggling all over the place. Her new name, this is a good one. Her new name is Squiggles. Alright, so this is kind of the mate from that last one. This is actually a male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. And kind of my thought was if I can actually hit the het caramel albino on both of these, the first breeding I could actually produce a scaleless, completely scaleless visual caramel albino on the first shot. Of course, they're both 50%, so the odds are kind of low. And me playing the odds is not a good thing. It seems like I always miss the odds and everything. So I'm going to pull a name from the bucket for this guy. See if we can give this guy a name. So his new name is, this is a great name for him. His new name is Turbo. Alright, so here's another one. This is a female scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. Another one. So I actually have multiples. Just in case I miss it, I can actually use another one. As a matter of fact, I'm getting to the point where I'm producing a whole bunch of really cool stuff other than this project. And I'm starting to second guess, should I really hold on to a lot of these males, or should I, you know, kind of unload some of them and replace them with some of my other stuff, like my Desert Ghost stuff. And hopefully I'll actually hit some pieds this time. This year. I'm hoping my pied girl will actually lay. So this is a good name for this girl. Just pulled it out of the jar. Her new name is Shadow. Alright, so we're finally making some progress. I actually named all the snakes in the racks behind me in the ARS 5040, and then over here on the side I actually have my hatchlings over here in this hatchling rack, and we actually named those as soon as they came out of the egg. So all the snakes in the racks behind me are finally named. And I actually went through my females and counted all the ones, the breeder females that still need names, and we still have 17 snakes without names, and I think I'm going to save those for another video. Hopefully you actually saw some of your names that you suggested in this video. And now we can actually refer to some of the snakes by name instead of saying, you know, like normal female number 3 or something crazy like that. I was pretty much referring to all my snakes by the genes instead of the names, all except for Bobby here around my neck. This is Bobby, my male bamboo. He's 7 years old. And of course, he's had a name pretty much from the very beginning. So that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.